Coach Carthel, appreciate you joining us here post-game. Just kind of an opening statement, your thoughts from tonight's action.
Yeah, first of all, just congratulations to the Cougars of Houston and Coach Willie Fritz and their staff. I thought they came out and played a really solid game and had the game, really played very well defensively and really gave us some problems there. And they didn't make mistakes, and they deserved the victory and got a good ball club. I think they'll win a bunch of ball games this year, and so credit to them. Proud of our guys and how hard they played. I didn't think there was any quit in the Lumberjacks tonight. We just didn't make the plays to give ourselves a chance to be in this one, and that was frustrating. I thought the effort was there, the heart was there, but just didn't make the plays. Couldn't put drives together, couldn't convert third downs, 0 for 3 on fourth down, and defensively I thought they played really hard, had some good stops, some good 4-point wins in the red zone, put them on some short fields on some fourth downs that we didn't convert, but just didn't create a turnover and didn't play as well as we wanted to on third down. I thought highlight of the night probably for us was just our special teams. We gave up one 15-yard punt return, but other than that, I thought our coverage was really good and did a good job punting the ball, and so that was a positive. But all in all, we got some things we got to work on. Good thing is I think everything's fixable, and got the first one behind us. Now we'll turn the page and get ready to head to Abilene, start some FCS play.
And Coach, obviously you talked about your offense, struggled there a little bit just to kind of get that traction early on. How much of that would you attribute to obviously just Houston's game plan defensively, or just maybe your guys just again unable to kind of get that traction?
Yeah, it was credit those guys. They got good coaches too, and they were all new. That we knew that was going to be. I talked about it earlier this week. We knew that was going to be a problem for us. You don't know what film to watch with so many new coaches and so many new players. So we didn't know what they were going to be doing schematically, and kind of prepared for a lot of different things and tried to get some things going and just didn't convert and didn't convert on some throws, some catches, and just didn't keep the sticks moving when we did get them going, and then tried to stay in the game with some fourth down. Got to roll the dice a little bit in a game like this. You're outmatched and outgunned, fighting up 2 weight classes, and so that's where I thought our defense did a good job keeping us in the game and playing hard and turning some of those short fields into 4-point wins, I think, for the Lumberjacks. But just hard, never got on track. And the few times we did, ended up with turnovers and threw a couple picks there. So, disappointed because I know those guys are better than that, and they know it too. But the credit, it's not, you got to give credit to guys in red because those are really good, talented players and good coaches, and they did a really nice job on defense.
And Coach, talk about your defense. Obviously, this is a bunch when you look at the box score and you kind of consider your top unit going against the top line of their depth chart, so to speak. They forced 5 punts. You held them to 2 field goal attempts from 40 plus.
Mm-hmm.
You stopped them right there before the half, kind of get a little bit of injection into your sideline. Just talk about your defensive performance and what you saw of those guys.
Yeah, I thought they played their tails off, and they were frustrated because it was the Jacks beating the Jacks on a few of those. That first touchdown, we just cut the tight end loose, and you can't beat yourself, especially in a game like this against an opponent, a Big 12 opponent. So they were frustrated just because they knew they were better than that, and every point's going to matter and every score is going to matter. But they still came back, like I said, and battled and had created a lot of punts, forced a lot of punts, and I thought were very physical. They were hitting and tackling. I don't know how many tackles for loss or right at the line of scrimmage we had, but they knocked a bunch of them down for very little or no gain. And then had the big fourth down stop there. I think it's in the red zone or close to it, and so that was a big momentum deal. But all in all, just the third downs hurt us, and I thought when the game got away from us, we pinned them, we punted, pinned them on the 5, we had them 3rd and long. And they throw a go ball down the sideline, and we'll look at it on film. But that flag came out, and gave them a first down, and another 3rd and long converted. Then they had 3rd and long again, and they were messed up and snapped it, weren't ready, and we didn't know if we could go. And that old Wegman scrambled for about 25 yards, and that drive right there, that 95-yard drive, really I thought took the wind out of our sails because we'd really. played a lot better until that drive. But, you know, still, you got to credit the other team. It's a Big 12 opponent, and they got some really good players. But I was proud of the effort. Just we'd like to have a few of those plays back.
Coach, 10 of the obviously 11 remaining games on your regular season schedule are in your weight class. How much can you gain, obviously, coming down here playing a Big 12 opponent, using that momentum, using that experience moving forward?
No, it's a 4-letter word or 5-letter word. You either lose or you learn. I think we choose to learn. And we learned some stuff about us today. We found some things that we need to work on and get fixed. And, you know, we chose to play this game on Thursday for a reason. Now we get a couple extra days of you know, rest, recovery, and then turn the page to Abilene Christian. And, you know, it's not on the stat sheet, but, you know, the thing I'm happiest about is we got out of this one healthy. You know, when you're fighting up 2 weight classes in a game like this, you want to collect a check that cashes, and it better cash, and you want to stay healthy. And I think for the most part we had a few bumps and bruises, but nothing major. And so that's a win for the Lumberjacks there. And now we've got to, you know, go back to work tomorrow morning. You know, treatment's 9 to 12, and got meetings at 12, and let's get ready for the Wildcats.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Axel.
Thank you.